All right, 5th grade. We just learned about Navajo rugs and the Navajo Indians. So now we are going to make our own Navajo rugs. So to start, you are going to pick out what color you want for your background. I think, let's see, we have gray, red, orange, tan, and yellow. We talked about the reason that they use those colors is because they can make the stains to stain the wool out of things that they found in nature, right? So I'm gonna pick what I want my background color to be. I think maybe I'll do orange. Then today we are going to do the first step of the project. So what you're gonna do is I have these strips of papers in the baskets. There's red, orange, white, black, gray, yellow, and tan. Again, these are the same colors that we talked about that they were able to make. So what you're gonna do is you are going to pick 4 of these. I wouldn't pick orange since my background color is orange. Pick 4 other colors. So maybe I'll do tan, gray, red, and yellow. That looks good. All right, so I can set these aside for right now. And what you are going to do is you are going to make different line designs on these to make on your rug. So I'm going to show you some different ones you can do. Of course, you're going to put your name and class code on the back of your paper. Then you can get started with your line designs. If it helps you to draw them first with a pencil, that's great. If you want to just go ahead and cut them, you can do that as well. You're going to start right in the center of this piece of paper, and you're going to draw whichever line design you pick to start. So I'm going to draw zigzags. You can see I'm drawing big zigzags. I'm not drawing little tiny zigzags because that is not going to be very easy to cut, first of all. But second of all, it's not going to look as nice with our finished rug. So try to pick some kind of bigger designs. So right now I have my zigzags. Maybe I'll set that aside for right now. Then maybe I'll do a jumping line. And you can see every time I'm starting in the middle and ending in the middle. Okay? Maybe now I'll do a wavy line. Maybe then I'll do a castle line. And again, I'm doing kind of larger castles instead of really tiny castles to help myself out when it comes to cutting it out. Okay? Now I've already done my 4, but just so I can show you a couple more, I'll get a few more pieces of paper. And you can come up with your own. You don't have to do one that you've seen me do. You can come up with your own. A couple I'm going to show you. If you do like a diagonal or V line, it's a little bit different than the rest of them. Instead of starting in the center like you would everyone else, you're going to start right up at the corners. So if you want to make sure that your V is perfectly in the middle, I like to fold it. I don't make a really hard crease. I just make just the tiniest little fold right in the center so I can kind of know where that center is. And I'm going to make, starting at that first corner, I'm going to make a V line that comes down, and I'm not going all the way to the bottom because I want to leave some space. I'm kind of going just maybe right below the middle, and then I'm going to make that line go up to that corner again, just like that. The last one I'm going to show you is a curved line. You don't need to fold it in the middle for this one because you don't have a point, but you are going to start at the 2 corners again. So I'm going to curve down, I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom again, just slightly below the middle. And there's that one. So now you're going to cut these out. All right, so now that I have all of these cut out, I'm gonna go ahead and set them aside. Now you get to work with negative space. So let's start with my zigzag line. I can either glue them onto my paper like this, where I leave this negative space of orange going through the middle, or I can flip them like this so they're back to back and there's no negative space, but I have zigzag edges. One more option that you could do is put one on one side and one on the other, just like that. Okay? What we're working with is we want to work with that negative space, and we want our rugs to be symmetrical. We want our rugs to be symmetrical if we folded them side to side. So I think I'm gonna leave it up here like that with that negative space in between. Always make sure that your pencil lines are facing down. That's super important. You don't want to see your pencil lines. Okay, now we have my castle line. Again, I can do the same thing where I leave that negative space in between, just like that. Or I could put them back to back. Or if I'm doing this way, I could do it something like this. And once you start to add more colors, do you see how this is starting to look like it could be a Navajo rug, right? I still think I'm gonna leave it back like this. You're gonna make sure to leave some negative space from your background paper in between each one. And these are cool. So this is I'll pull this one off for just a second. This is my V line. Flip it over so my pencil lines are on the back. I could do it again like this. I could flip them like that. It's up to you, guys. Figure it out how you want to do it and make it your own. I think, oh, and here's my curved line. Like that, or like this. It's up to you. I think I'm gonna stick with my colors from before. Before you glue anything down, I like to lay everything out so I know how much space I need between everything to fit. Because you are going to use 4 colors. So I have my gray, red, tan, yellow. But I'm laying everything out before I start gluing anything down so I know how much space needs to be between each one. Okay, now I'm going to get my glue bottle and see I have a little bit of space down at the bottom and at the top. And then an equal amount of space between them, like that. Instead of making long lines of glue, you know that in art class, all we need is a few dots, not a lot, right? So, that's all we need, guys. We do not need to have glue oozing out of the sides of our paper. making sure to check my pencil lines. I always want my pencil lines to be facing down. All right, this is as much as we're going to do on our rug today. Next time we come to class, we will start adding our details.